want to talk about some amazing things in regards to men, especially a soft life. I think that there's been a lot of conversation that's been going on about just men in general and the way that society has been portraying us and how we should act, how we should show up in spaces, how we should dress, how we should look in general. And I feel like social media and even reality TV has really painted this narrative and this picture that isn't really equivalent to who we are as a society of men. I feel like there's so much freedom in being a man, a man just in general, a real man in today's society in 2023, opposed to what they said men should have been or look like back in the day. What you think?
I believe that we made a lot of progress in allowing men just to be themselves, not worrying about so much if I'm wearing something whether it's feminine, masculine, that we're making progress. I think a lot of the athletes out there, Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook, they started some trends with the way they dress, and they gave permission for other people just to wear whatever they want to wear, no matter what.
Absolutely. And I posted a picture of myself on my Instagram, and I had this long caption about I'm in this era of my life of where I am living a soft life. And a lot of people commented or DM me and was trying to figure out, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I basically just said, I'm no longer subjecting myself to the narrative that was created, that we were conditioned to believe what a man should be and or look like, or what the life of a man is supposed to look like. And I feel like what was given to us or told to us or what we were taught to believe was just like this hard life. No struggle, no progress. Hard work pays off. You have to show up in spaces looking a certain way and just being a hard dude in general. And what does that look like? Walking with a limp or dressing a certain type of way or talking a certain type of way or hanging around with a certain crowd and just really having this life that isn't really conducive for a lifestyle that is healthy, a mental health lifestyle that's healthy.
Yeah, because people often associate soft with feminine, and they associate it with feministic characteristics. But we are multi-dimensional people. We have a masculine side and we have a feminine side, and so we should be able to express all our sides and be able to be comfortable to, if we want to be hard in one moment and then be soft in another moment, that should be fine. And
And I think what that narrative also did to us was it made us feel like we couldn't feel. It made us feel like we couldn't be vulnerable. It made us feel like we basically could not be men who expressed anything, because if we did, like, it's crazy because now they call us sassy, right? We sassy if we are vocal and we speaking up for ourselves, or we're responding to things that may have to do with us, or we're giving our opinion. Now we got to be sassy. But if we don't respond and we don't say anything, then we're stubborn, or they never talk. They hold everything in. It's this, that, and they're gonna just explode one day. So it's kind of like you can't win. It's almost like you can't win. Either I'm sassy for speaking up for myself, or I'm stubborn and I hold everything in and I don't have an outlet to express myself. So now I might need to go to therapy because he ain't talking. He's not vocal enough. So it's almost like, where do you find a balance of just being, okay, you know what? Forget what everybody has to say. I am who I am. I'm going to be vocal when it's time for me to be vocal. And that does not lessen my manhood. That's just me standing up for myself and using my voice.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff dates back to slavery, where they emasculated the black man. They raped our women. And, we felt like at times we couldn't be there to protect our women. So a lot of that stuff dates back to then in terms of why we feel the need to be so hard and to be the protector and not share our feelings.
Yeah, it's so many labels. It's demasculate, emasculate. He's this, he's that. And it's almost like you just can't win. He's a thug. He's too soft. He's not that smart. He's too educated. He act like a girl. He's his voice is not deep enough. His voice is too soft. His voice is too sweet. He's not vocal. Doesn't show any emotion. Stubborn, sassy. He's gay. He's weak. He's too strong. He's everything. And I tell you everything when I'm reading stuff and I'm seeing how people kind of treat us when we are just expressing ourselves. It's like we everything but a child of God. And I think that that's the one thing that people are missing is we are all human beings. We are all children of God. And so we should all be treated equally, regardless if you agree or disagree with what he has to say or how he shows up and presents himself. We're all still God's children. And for that, there should be a respect on that level.
Yeah, I agree. We're all individuals. We all have our ways that we want to go about life. We're unique, so we should be able to create space for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. A space should be created. And I love that Tyler Williams, he basically he spoke up for himself even when he didn't have to, because a lot of stuff doesn't need to be
Who was
addressed.
Tyler Williams?
So Tyler is from Everybody Hates Chris.
Okay.
He's on Abbott Elementary right now. A really amazing actor, and he doesn't conform to what society says he should be as a man. You know, he considers himself a man because that's what he is. So however he dresses, however he chooses to express himself, it shouldn't take away from his manhood. And I guess there were some things going on social media where people were calling him gay. I wonder if he's this, I wonder if he's that. He kind of just came out and even when he didn't have to, and basically just said, it's really funny how people, want to put labels on you and assume just because the way that you present yourself or show up for yourself that you're this and you're that. He said, I shouldn't have to defend myself and let everybody know that I am a heterosexual male and I have no problem with anybody that isn't. But it's the simple fact that when you do things like that, you create this space that isn't safe for men who may feel like they are, dealing with some sexual orientation stuff, dealing with their own sexual desires, trying to figure out, what's going on with them. This space isn't safe enough for them to come out and feel like they can express themselves and talk about it, because immediately you're attacking them. And he said we have to be very careful with the narratives that we create when it comes to that, because it's making it more dangerous for Black men in general to live their true self, be their true self. And I have to agree with him 100%.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to go out there and tell people, what our sexuality is, why we do what we do. We should be able just to be who we want to be.
And you're entitled to date who you want to date. At the end of the day, ain't nobody else paying your bills. You know what I mean? Like, you on their health insurance? Are you in their will? Like, are you in their benefits? Are you? None of those things. So to be so concerned about what somebody else is doing in their life is a personal problem. My favorite saying is, make it your business to mind your business. And when you mind your business, God is going to give you some business of your own. And that business can be amazing business where you can have generational wealth. But until you get to that point where you minding your business and you in everybody else's business, you're never going to be in your happy place. You're never going to have a life of peace, a life of prosperity, because you're too worried and concerned about what everybody else is doing with their life, and it has nothing to do with you at the end of the day.
When you can be putting that energy, focusing on yourself, making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do in order to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, but instead you're diverting your attention and your focus on somebody else's life, what they're doing. Trying to put them down to make yourself feel better about who you are, when what you need to be doing is focusing on yourself and grooming yourself and growing yourself. And you won't be worried about anybody else.
Not to mention, the narrative that was created back in the day really did a number on young boys who are now men, their mental and emotional intelligence, because they didn't have the outlets to express themselves and to be vulnerable and to learn and grow in certain spaces and to talk about certain things. Because man up, boys don't cry. What you crying for? You a girl. oh, you faggot, oh, he gay, he's this, he's that. It's like all of these labels made us feel like, okay, I gotta hold everything in, and because I have to hold everything in, now I become this man that has this childhood trauma because I wasn't able to just be a boy. I wasn't able, scratch that. I wasn't able to just be a human being.
Yeah.
Not even saying in a gender role, just able to be a human being. And as humans, we have emotions. In all stages of our life, we have emotions, and we should be able to express those emotions without being labeled weak or, sassy or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. It's very, very valid points.
And so back to what I meant by the soft life thing. Living a soft life just means, we can be men, kick our feet up, and just enjoy the space that we've created. We have done the work to heal. We don't have any childhood trauma. We are not dealing with all of this mental and emotional baggage because we may have went to therapy and unpacked all of that stuff. We are strong spiritually, mentally, we're educated. And I hate to use this word, but we do know how to articulate, and we don't need to be called out for it. We know how to show up in spaces as our authentic self without having to code switch. We are just comfortable in our skin. Cozy. We're comfortable in our skin, and we're living a life of peace. And not only that, we get to create the life that we want, the life that makes us happy. And by doing that, it enables us to live a life of just freedom so that we are able to live in peace and not in pieces.
A lot of times, I go back to the soft life quote. A lot of times people are addicted to drama and addicted to the struggle, and it becomes a norm. And so when things are just easy going, things are just smooth, they get bored. They feel like they need to do something to create the drama. No, just being able to have peace and not having all that negative energy and the ups and downs can be a really good place to be in life.
Absolutely. Like, no stress, no drama, and not saying that you don't have your days where you have moments, because we have bad days, we don't have a bad life. And I think that sometimes people get that twisted. It's okay because you're human and you're entitled to have a bad day, but that's not a bad life. And those are moments that pass.
But the key is letting it be a moment, not letting it be 2, 3, 4, 5 days,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 weeks. But it's catching it at the beginning, trying to nip it in the bud. When you start feeling these negative feelings, start sitting with yourself and trying to discern, where are these feelings coming from? Or you start saying something negative. Why am I saying something negative? What's going on in my life? So it's good to kind of catch it, try to be aware and catch it before it starts to, grow and spread. Next thing you know, you're in a whole 2 or 3 months and you're in this negative space.
Absolutely. And it's just important to speak life over yourself. Regardless of your situation or circumstance, I always tell people, yes, things could be a lot better, but things can also be a lot worse. So be grateful and thankful for what you have and where you're at right now, because that's a blessing in itself. And when you allow yourself to live that type of lifestyle in your soft life, then you continue to have this soft life that's not hardened by moments, days that's going to pass, by people, places, and things that come and go. Because again, you have created this space in this life that you love, that makes you happy, that's fulfilling to you, that gives you love, peace, joy, and happiness. And it's something that anything that happens can't take away.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've been watching the softball championship, World Series. Florida State played Oklahoma. Oklahoma just won the 3rd World Series championship. And ESPN was asking them about the game and just winning. How did it make them feel just to win? And a number of the softball players said that although they were happy that they won, their joy is tied to the Lord, not necessarily to the outcome of a game. And they relate that back to life. There's going to be ups and downs, and you can't really attach your joy to achievements, because sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. But when you have your joy focused on God, then you're able to weather the ups and the downs, and you're able to have that more of that soft life, because you're not on this roller coaster ride. It's not attached to external things. it's attached to God who lives within you.
I love that you said that, because on my Instagram story, it was probably last week, I had posted something that said, what do you think people are more envious or jealous of? Your money, if you have a lot of money, or your joy? And so I got a lot of responses, And so when we talk about the money piece of it, it's crazy because there's so many people that have a lot of money, but they're not happy. Like, they're in these spaces and they have this beautiful home and they have these jobs and they have these amazing careers and they may have families and they may vacation all the time, but here they're just not happy. And so I think that's why we see so many suicidal cases, or people that drink a lot of alcohol or have these different unhealthy coping mechanisms, even though they are financially well off. And so a lot of people, as they gave me their responses, a lot of them were leaning toward joy, or they were just like, it depends. It has to be a balance. It depends. And so after I responded to them and I let them know, I said, the thing about money is yes, it can get you all the materialistic things, and we all do need it to survive, right? We need it to thrive. However, again, we go back to people that have a lot of money and they're still not happy. The thing about joy is you can go into your job tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everybody have a good day. What is he so happy about? Why he so happy? I don't even want to be here today. But you have this joy within you that can be so contagious, that can light up a room, that people get discouraged by, they're intimidated by, or they're just mad at it and they're envious and they're jealous of it, because they may have things going on in their life and they don't know how to obtain that joy. And so it makes me think about how this joy that I have, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. And because the world didn't give it, no matter what's going on in your life, if you have a joy that's contingent on the grace of God and love, unconditional love, and you live a life of grace and you live a life of integrity and value and spirituality, all those things align to you being at peace. And so even when you feel off balance, there's a joy there, because we also know that happiness is contingent on things that are happening, but a joy is everlasting. So I personally believe that people are more jealous and envious of this joy that we have. And I know I have a joy, and I love the joy that I have.
Yeah, I feel like I have a joy as well that it emanates, but that's not tied to anything that I've done externally. Is really tied to the man above and the grace he's given me, and knowing that I'm worthy just because he created me. He created me in his image, and so it's grateful.
And we alive, man. Every day above ground is such a blessing. It's a joyful blessing, and that's enough just to have a joy. To know that you woke up this morning and opened your eyes, knowing that somebody didn't, unfortunately, but God gave you another day, man. That is joy. That's joy right there. That's enough for you to want to have joy. Put it that way.
It's gratitude. It's about gratitude. You can't be happy, you can't be joyous if you don't have gratitude.
Absolutely.
Gratitude precedes all of those things. So Oprah talks about doing a gratitude journal, writing 3 things down each day that you're grateful for. And that, really allows you to focus on the positive and focus on what you do have rather than focus on what you don't have. There's always going to be something you don't have. There's always going to be someone looks better. Always going to be something better out there. But focus on the things that you do have, and that will help out. It'll help you have more joy.
It will, man. And joy is a beautiful thing. And I hope and pray that this video blesses somebody to start thinking about what joy is to them and why they may feel like they don't have that joy, and how they can do the work to get that joy so that they can start living a joyful life in peace. And because there's no better feeling than knowing that you live a peaceful life.
Yeah, a joyful life in peace, and softness, and easiness, and not up and down, because it's not attached to these external things.
And I want you to know personally that you yourself deserve a soft life. You deserve a soft life. You don't deserve a life that is conducive of
drama, violence, negativity,
trials and tribulations.
all of those things.
bad relationships, and just all of these things.
But a lot of that stems from lack of self-worth.
Yeah,
I think when you know that you're worthy of something greater, you know, you're less likely to be in negative situations, or even feel that you deserve to be in a situation. But I'm too good for this. I'm not going to be involved in this mess. And so it has to do with self-worth, because when you know, sometimes when life gets too good, you might feel like you don't deserve it, and then you start self-sabotaging because you still have that lack of self-worth. So like a lot of stuff stems from having that self-worth, and you know, our worthiness comes from the man above.
Absolutely. And in order for you to get that and obtain that, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. It's not going to do it for itself. You have to do the work. Nobody else can do it for you. We can talk till we blue in the face about what needs to change, what needs to happen, what band-aid needs to come off so that you can really heal the wound that's there, the childhood trauma, the bad relationships, you know, whatever you've been through, but you have to do the work. And when you're able to do that work, that life work, that spiritual work, that mental health work, when you're able to do that spirituality work and you put all those things together, your worth changes, you change, your life changes, your soft life just glows and it evolves, and you understand what it feels like to just be at peace.
Yeah.
To just be at peace.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You said it's soft life, and I started thinking about the light that shines. You have a hard light or a soft light, but when you have a hard light, it's really harsh on you, but the soft light is just, it's soft on your skin, it just glows. So when you have that soft life, you're gonna have a soft light that just glows. Absolutely. And just resonates, and people are gonna be drawn to it.
Absolutely. This little light of mine,
I'm gonna let it shine.
So yeah, we just wanted to touch a little bit on soft life and just men in general. You know, we wanted to dive into that. If you have any questions, or you have a rebuttal, or you want us to talk about anything when it comes to this topic in general, or anything else, drop down in the comments. Matter of fact, just comment, just make a comment in general about this video, what you thought about this video, or just in general, or what your response is, your honest response. That'd be great. And share this video, like this video, and get your people, your friends, your family, everybody you know to subscribe to our channel.
Yes, sir.
And we thank y'all so much. And again, you yourself